Are you tired of winter before it even starts? Today, I've got the solution and kind of like a checklist of things for you to do to beat the seasonal blues before they even start. Welcome to the Creative Life in Motion podcast. I'm your host, Karen Wilson, and on this show, we talk about all the things that help you to close the gaps from where you are today and where you want to be, keeping the mind, body, and purpose all in flow at the same time so that when you get to where you want to get to, you're feeling great. You're feeling awesome. You haven't left anything, including yourself, off your to-do list. I'm asked all the time how I stay so positive all the time, even through winter. This is actually something that I really do need to work with. And I'm going to share with you a lot of the top suggestions on what to do about winter blues. And it kind of blindsided me a few years ago. Now, I've always been a positive person. And so it really struck me like ferociously when it happened to me. It was if you've listened to this podcast before, I shared about my hormonal bonk where all of my hormones were incredibly imbalanced and I hit a wall of fierce anxiety. Well, I was going actually for a follow up. After things were getting better, I was reestablishing balance in my nervous system. I went to a follow up with my doctor and it was like June and I was anxious. I was super scared about the next winter coming up because I remembered how awful that feeling was. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I just began to start thinking about how it got dark at 4 o'clock and it was still dark at 8 a.m. and about how claustrophobic that made me and how sad that made me. And I was terrified. And I told him, I don't know why I'm having anxiety about the winter when it's like the middle of summer. And he told me the top suggestion that changed my life. And he told me to get a happy light. He said, which is light therapy, which is number one on the list about combating the winter blues. And he said to me, I want you to get this light and start using it in the middle of August so that you're actually stocking your shelves. So I like to talk about it as, putting stock in your health account, right? We need to do that. We need to be putting stuff in our health account now to benefit us 10 years from now. So it made perfect sense to me. He's like, if you start mid-August, you're going to take care of it before it even hits you. And so I did. I started my light therapy in the middle of August and it never hit me again. Now, I'm also going to share with you other suggestions that they were habits I already had in place. So it made the rest of it a lot easier. But if you don't have these habits in place, I strongly recommend you really blend together a system so that you can make sure that you're doing your best with your habits and tools that you have to empower yourself to not be blue this winter. So let's formally get started, shall we? Okay. So I already talked about the light therapy. And what that does is it involves exposure to bright light that mimics real light. So it is October when I'm filming this, and this is my happy light. So I will show it to you. It's made by Verilux and it's very bright. Okay. So it has 3 different settings. And usually what I do is I have a rock solid morning routine pretty much where wake up, dog needs to go out, come back in, I grab my coffee, have a quick meditation, and then I'm at my desk for about 45 minutes writing. I'm either writing a book, I'm writing an article, I'm writing a podcast. I know I'm writing something in that time. So that's when I have the light in my face. And then I carry on the rest of my day. The best thing to do is to insert it in a time where you're already doing something else. So it's not invasive. It just needs to go there and be in your face. You can do it if you have a morning workout, you can put it in front of your yoga mat You can do it while you're eating breakfast. That's in fact what my doctor does. So find a time to insert that into your day. And that might be the number one thing that is the catalyst for everything else. Next thing I want you to do is make sure that you spend time outdoors. So this is something that I already did, but I changed it. So whenever possible, you want to be able to get outside during the daylight. So I used to like to go for a morning walk, and I still do in the spring and summer months in the morning. But when it comes to winter, I will switch to lunchtime because I'm getting the maximum light exposure, even when it is like cloudy, you're still getting that sunlight exposure. Exercise regularly. Physical activity helps to stimulate, endorphins. And it's a natural mood regulator, right? It doesn't have to be a hardcore workout. Again, it could be something as simple as going out for a 20 to 30-minute walk outside. Now, I'm going to let you know on a little secret here. I have a walking program that actually starts out as a 30-day walking challenge where I encourage people to walk 20 to 30 minutes a day, pick a time of the day that works best for them, and be consistent with it. And I give all different types of variations of walks. This would be a great time to see about starting that. The link is below this video because that's something that will get you excited and in the habit of doing this daily, also putting something into your health account to combat the seasonal blues or the winter blues, whatever you want to call it. The next thing we're going to talk about is eating a balanced diet. We all know the sugar roller coaster. It's nothing you haven't heard before. But what happens is when you eat something that your body doesn't like, it can cause a real dip, as if you dip in your sugar and your insulin response, it'll cause a dip in your mood. When you eat what I like to call energetically, meaning you're eating things that are in their whole food source, they give you energy, they don't sap it away. It's going to help your overall mood stabilize. So it's super important. Another little tip is omega-3 fatty acids, like in fish and flaxseed. Those really have mood boosting properties to them. Maintain a regular sleep schedule. Again, another super important thing, something that you can have help with, like when you do go for a walk every day, when you do have physical activity, when you do eat a healthy, balanced diet, usually the sleep follows as well. Now, I have a whole episode that I'm recording about sleep hygiene because I know it's something that so many people struggle with. So, it's something that we will go deeper into in a couple of weeks, but it's really something that really has to be one of those things that you look after. You can't ignore this one. If you're not sleeping well, what is that connected to? What can you do to make your sleep better? Because that's going to be the catalyst for your mood as well. If you're not sleeping well, you're going to crave foods that are not going to be good for your sugar response. And it all is a cumulative effect of one of everything, right? So make sure that you're subscribed so that in a couple of weeks that sleeping podcast is going to be super beneficial for you to listen to if you want to improve your sleep in any way. The next thing is to manage stress. So you want to practice stress reducing techniques. I mean, we can meditate. You can learn breath work. You can also go for a walk. There it is again. Wow, walking does so much, doesn't it? It helps you manage stress. It helps you regulate your mood. It helps you spend time outdoors. How can one simple free thing have so much power and impact? That's where I find that that's probably something that has served me over the years is being in the habit of going for a walk. It's never something that I planned to do, but I sure really, when it wasn't in my life, I sure missed it. And that's when I saw a lot of other health markers start to fall apart. And that's why I created the walking program to help others just have So many catalysts come out of just taking a 20 to 30-minute walk a day. It's unbelievable. Okay, so I'll get back on topic here. A few more ways here. You want to socialize as well. So stay connected with family and friends. Call a friend. Winter is a time where we can, chat on the phone a little bit more. Set up a Zoom session with all your girlfriends and have a games night or something. Do social things that make you feel good. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to go drive in the wintry, coldy ice. I mean, that's always like my thing. It's like, I don't want to drive in the winter. So, we all know how to use Zoom now. We've gotten pretty professional at it. So, it doesn't mean you can't be social. Set goals and stay engaged. So, there's something a little project that I'm going to start working on because this is something that I started to see and feel, even though I have my happy light, even though I have lots of things that I'm working on that excite me. I was like, I'm going to be so bored. I don't want to just watch Netflix all winter. And I also don't want to work 10 hours a day because that's all there is to do. I don't get excited about going out in the winter. I don't like being cold. I don't like skiing. I'll tolerate snowshoeing, but it's just not my jam. So I decided I'm going to do Project Declutter and I'm going to document it. And the reason why I'm going to document it is because it's something that is really good for the health as well. So that project excites me. Now, what happens when you declutter? You make room in your brain and you have less stress. And it's a project that I'm excited about it. You see this room here? I'm also going to call it musical rooms. That's part of my declutter project. And this room here, I've been operating out of this office for about 8 years. It was my stepdaughter's room before she moved out and started a lovely life of her own. And everyone's always complimented me on the walls. I love the color of the walls, but that wall over there is all different colors and it's cluttered in here. It's got 8 years of my office stuff, and it still has my stepdaughter's stuff in the closets. I really want to renovate in here. And also, the dog loves to sleep in here. It's her bedroom. I really want to renovate this office, but I don't want to upset my work. So that means I need to move downstairs. Problem is, downstairs is full of, it's not like we have a lot of stuff. It's just we've lived in this house for 20 years. So a lot of stuff can go. And if we ever want to downsize, I'm also doing that, getting ready to downsize, right? So, going to clean the basement first. Then my office will move downstairs. I'll renovate this room. And then once this room is done, we're going to move our bedroom in here so that I can renovate our bedroom. I am so excited about this project. But what I'm most excited about is getting rid of stuff and going through stuff, like old pictures of my little boy. He's now like 28. And little pictures of when he was like a little baby. And you find things and you can go, huh. But I'm going to have that rule, Like if I can't let go of something and I have like 10 of them, like instructor wear, I'm so bad at keeping all of my running shirts and all of my instructor gear. I'm going to allow myself to keep one. Can you sell? I'm like super excited about this project. So this is my winter project. It might take me 2 years, but oh well, it's mine and I'm going to do it and it's exciting me. Now, if you've started to do all of these things or if you've done them before and none of them have worked for the winter blues, consider professional help. And even if you've dabbled in a couple of them but don't stay consistent, you can, if it's lasting for an extended period or not going away, you can go to your doctor, seek out professional help, maybe talk with a counselor, and, don't like just dismiss it. There is a better way. You deserve to feel better. It could be something as simple as a hormonal imbalance that can be easily relieved, or it could be something like a vitamin D deficiency, which again could be easily relieved. So don't feel like you have to suffer just because it's winter. plan for future seasons. So recognize that seasonal blues might be recurring. So you know how I talked to the doctor in the middle of summer, knowing that and starting to feel like this was going to be coming. And so it's super important to really realize and start to plan for that and plan accordingly. I could still feel a little bit of seasonal blues, leaking in. And I started thinking of all these things that I could do. I joined the theater again, maybe join Toastmasters, maybe volunteer. And I thought of my project declutter. So that's something that got me excited. I'm no longer worried about winter, and I've been using my happy light. Stay positive. That's super important. Make sure you stay positive through all of this. Positive outlook helps you remind you daily, like doing a daily gratitude journal, even if the only thing that you can find that you're grateful for is that you woke up breathing and that you have a hot coffee. Just find something. It'll help to offset the rest of your day. You want to also limit your alcohol and caffeine. So just like, nutrition, alcohol and caffeine are mood regulators, and sometimes they can help emphasize feelings that you don't want to feel. They can worsen mood swings and disrupt sleep patterns, which you need the sleep to feel happy. Moderation really is key. So remember, what works best for managing seasonal blues for one person doesn't always work best for all. Why don't you give me a comment? What have you tried for the winter blues? What are you going to try from one of these steps that I've shared with you? I'll share some of the links below this where this podcast lives, or the video lives. And I have, the light that I use, also a link to the walking program. It might be a great solution for you to just to have, all these things, but sometimes you need permission to say, hey, maybe if I start with a group, hey, maybe if I get a little support, maybe if I have a reason outside of myself, I will actually be accountable for these changes that I want to make. And also make sure that you are subscribed, because in a couple of weeks, that sleep podcast is going to come out. And I'm going to also be sharing in the YouTube portion of my YouTube channel, the declutter project. So there might be like a video a month on that. I'll share the progress, what I'm doing before and afters, yada, yada. And maybe you'll want to declutter with me. As again, thank you for sitting down and taking this time with me. I hope you found this valuable. Make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed this episode, let me know what you liked about it, what you would like to hear more about. Share it with someone you love. And I will see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.